Hit the like button. Welcome to the Snark Marks, everybody. We are a very funny podcast out of the Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Dusty in a beautiful Weezer Blue Album shirt. I like it.
That's 30 years, Andrew.
So that album's 30 years old.
1994.
Cripes. I was just, follow us on all the stuff, okay? Follow us on all the socials, and you can find us. It's very easy. And hit the like button, okay? And the subscribe and the bell and all that horse shit, okay? Yeah. If you're like, hey, these guys are funny, I'm going to go do everything they want me to do, which is like all the stuff, follow all the stuff, say hi, okay?
Watch the stuff.
I watched a Beastie Boys concert from 2004 last night. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
But
what, if I may, what led you down the road?
Okay, I've been watching some of Conan O'Brien's interviews. Like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and then what was the other one that he just interviewed comedians? It had a funky name.
Yeah, I can't.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Whichever one that
the
is.
writer's room.
Though he had the writer's room, but he had a name for that writer's room thing. And so he interviewed all the Simpsons writers, and then he interviewed like Mel Brooks, which I watched, and it was wonderful. If anybody is interested in comedy at all, watch Mel Brooks on Conan O'Brien's podcast. And then so YouTube, while I was working yesterday on my phone, suggested what did he? It was like Conan O'Brien talks to MCA and Mike D about what's the other guy's name? The dead guy?
Ad
Rock. Yeah. And so that I listened to that because I was like, what do these guys sound like when they talk? And they're old, bro. They look old. Like MCA and Mike D are like almost 60.
Yeah, well, License to Ill came out in like 1987. So that's they've been doing it. They've been doing it prior to that.
Yeah, so I was trying to. One thing about the Beastie Boys is I know what Adam Yauch.
I think I call him Yauch, but
Yauch, and that is I forgot his name already. Ad Rock. Yeah. I know what he sounded like. He had the most distinct voice, but you got the two nasally guys. And I was trying to like discern, like, okay, can I get to a point where I know which Beastie Boy is which when they're talking if they don't say their name?
Like me trying to listen to the Beatles and figure out which one is which.
Yeah. And so and like somebody like me is like that's easy, but like it takes a while. So because I thought Mike D was the more nasally guy, but he's not. It is MCA is the more nasally guy. And
his name is Mike D, and he gets respect.
He does.
So yeah,
you're cashing your jewelry is what he expects. So so in watching the video, I was like, okay, I gotta watch a concert of these guys, see what it looked like first of all, but also see if I can tell these motherfuckers apart in terms of their voices. And the show was from 2004, so they were long in the tooth a little bit. They were just nerdy white dudes. They couldn't move very well. The crowd was like cool, but like it was a weird vibe for the show. So like but they were still hot. Like the songs were still good, their flows were good. Like they can rap. And they were like way above average with their rhyme schemes and stuff when they came out. Like if you compare them to like Run DMC, like I think Beastie Boys might be better than Run DMC.
Well, yeah, and it is that they're good. That's a good 1-to-1 comparison because the rapping style is very similar.
Yeah.
But like there are some Beastie Boys songs where they go in really hard, like 3 Minute Warning off of Paul's Boutique, I think. And then they had another one, I think it's Shadrach off of Paul's Boutique, where they're sort of answering the critique about like, can you guys actually rap? Because by then it had started to become like a real question about the pedigree of the Beastie Boys, and they're not the best MCs in spite of many of their songs proclaiming them to be the best
You got to do
MCs.
that. You got to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right?
That's country, like outlaw country singers and the Beastie Boys. The convergence of that Venn diagram is always mentioning their name in the song that they're doing. Like,
Another thing that outlaw country singers like to do is sing songs about like other outlaw country singers. Like I was listening to Waylon and like,
yeah, they like to name drop their buddies.
yeah.
Yeah,
And George Jones had a song called "Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes," and it's like kind of a
yeah,
sad song about like all of his buddies dying,
yeah.
and he's just naming off everybody.
In my dirty in my dirty bottoms playlist, I didn't mention the Johnny Cash song "The Night Hank Williams Came to Town," which is an awesome song, but that just about going to see Hank Williams. But yeah, like uh Hank Williams Jr. and David Allan Coe are both wildly love to put their names in their songs. And the Beastie Boys, that's their big thing too. It's like we like to rap about how cool we the Beastie Boys are. That's like 90% of their songs.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun
Yeah,
until you're Eminem and you are that good, and it's like, all
right.
right, dude, let's rap about being poor again. We need to take all of Eminem's money away.
Just
I think rap goes to a whole different level if we take Eminem's money away, and he has to start writing music again.
that might that might even be worse because he's been rich for so long. You know,
Oh, that'd be so
now
sick. Oh, dude, I just wish we
he's
could do that social experiment. What if we just?
he's been rich now longer than he was ever poor.
But he'd be rich
You
again
know,
after one album.
right? It's
So like, just give him like, okay, you can keep. You got to move from the house. You can't keep the house. Give Haley the house. Haley can stay in the house. You get like you get to live in my apartment. Like come hang out in Bakersfield. Like
right.
I run a tight ship. You sleep on the couch. You got to use public transit, and my place might be too nice. We might need we give him a shitty place or a trailer.
We give him my old apartment that doesn't have laundry service.
There you
Because
go.
that I could write a million rap songs about having to go to the goddamn laundromat every week and a half to wash all my clothes.
You know the fire raps that would be written at that diner chair, that diner seat that you had?
Yeah, he's got with one light that he hopes is still that he paid the bill for, you know.
I got one light and one fight.
Yeah.
We already got it going. So like,
and no washes and no dryers.
don't you think? Like, because one album he's back, but like,
right.
we just have to be like, dude, like, you're poor.
Well, the other part of this social experiment requires a genie because you have to make everyone else not realize that Eminem is famous. Like you have to mind wipe everyone for the time of the social experiment.
Or he comes back. We'll give him Dre. He had Dre when he started.
Right.
He gets Dre. New name.
Yeah.
Can't be Eminem. Can't be even a wink at Marshall Mathers. Can't be B Rabbit. Can't be any of that shit. Mask, maybe something where like we don't know it's we can't tell. He does like a Daft Punk thing or Gorillaz.
Right.
And he can be like promoted by Dre, like he was, like he has all those resources. We just cut the beginning of his career where he was looking for Dre. Yeah. But even then, that's when he wrote some of his best shit. He wrote Rock Bottom before he knew Dre. Fuck.
Well, and he needs who were the dudes that were with him? Jeff Bass, because Dre didn't make all the beats, so there was another couple guys he worked with who made like most of the beats on the first couple albums.
Oh, I thought Dre made the beats.
Not all of them. I forget what the guy's name is. I'll look it up.
What am I giving all this credit to Dr. Dre for?
Well, because Dr. Dre signed him. And Dr. Dre gave him probably the "Hi, my name is" beat, you know, and mostly that Dr. Dre was like, "You're white, but you can rap, so here you go." Because no one else, the Dre cosign is like the most important part of that whole thing. Because you can have the whole rest of the package, to a certain extent, because he's too talented to be denied, I think. But without the Dre cosign, it doesn't explode the same way, I don't think, because it helped.
Chicks flipped when they learned that he was produced by Dre.
Right.
So the Bass Brothers.
Yeah,
Who are these
they made a
fucking Bass Brothers?
they made it like I think they're from Detroit.
Or is
I
it
think that
Bass?
I might be Bass, but I think they made a bunch of the beats. They might have even made Rock Bottom the beat for that.
He did Without Me, Beautiful, Lose Yourself. Well, Rock Bottom was like, actually, I don't know who actually. Let me look. Hold on. Whoever did Rock Bottom, I'm giving all the credit to. Okay. Rock Bottom was the Bass Brothers. All right, the Bass
Yeah.
Brothers. Fuck Dr. Dre. We don't need him. Yeah, Dr. Dre did like Role Model, Guilty Conscience. By the way, fuck, I had something I wanted to talk. Something popped into my head that I want to talk about on the show, and it went away now. But we wanted to play more old school Eminem on our station, and the only song he was like, I was talking to my PD, and he's like, I'm working through it. I'm trying to find some old school Eminem. The only one that I've been able to find that censoring doesn't mess it up too bad is Guilty Conscience. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know that in 2024 they shouldn't have been playing that song when they made that song, let alone in 2024. Yeah, dude, As the World Turns, I'm Shady, Bad Meets Evil, Still Don't Give a Fuck, Rock Bottom, all the best songs aside from My Name Is, Role Model, and like the majority of the songs are by the Bass Brothers.
Dude, this is crazy. This is blowing my mind. I thought all of it was Dre. Like every time I'm gonna listen to this album different now, because every time I'm like, God damn it, I wish he still had Dr. Dre. No, he needs the Bass Brothers.
Yeah, all the weird like
Are they alive?
stop.
What happened?
I think he got money and he started using different producers because like
one of them co-wrote "Fucking Lose Yourself."
Yeah, one of the big slams on Eminem, we know, we've talked about it on the podcast, is that like in the years after probably Eminem show, he like just picks terrible beats. Like I don't know who he gets to do a lot of his beats, but
Well,
they're
he's
just
like, no, I need the guitar again.
right.
And they're
I
like,
want
no, why don't we do one without guitar? And he's like, you know what we should do is we should add guitar to this.
more guitar. Or whenever he was working with Rick Rubin, what if we just sample songs? Don't worry, Marshall, they have guitar from the 70s, and you can just rap over those. Have you ever heard "Stroke Me" by Billy Squier? We'll go ahead and make that into a hip hop beat.
I'll give him Rhyme or Reason was sick though. I like that one.
There are some that are still good. It's just like for hip hop beats, he like I don't know what happened, but I think he just started using different people.
He's using a guy named Dem Joints and Fred Wreck and Resto and Don Cannon and Q Beats and Callus, and that's the thing. Mr. Porter, all these have different fucking. This is what he's doing. He's doing it with his producers and he's doing it with his features. He's just trying to use everybody. Like Eminem, we don't need to diversify. Find something that works and just use that guy.
Now, for the Marshall Mathers LP, he did not have the Bass Brothers on any of these songs. I'm calling them the Bass Brothers. I'm calling them the Bass Brothers because I hope that for branding purposes, they called themselves that.
So Dr. Dre did Kill You, which is fucking banger. The 45 King did Stan.
Mel Man is all over this album, whoever that is.
FBT.
Yeah.
Oh, FBT is the Bass Brothers.
Oh, well, fuck me then. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not credited the same way. Never mind. The Bass Brothers are as essential to the success of Eminem as Eminem was.
Why do they just fucking pick a name and stick to it, you sons of bitches? Maybe that's why they left you, because you didn't get famous enough because you changed your name.
And you made it hard for podcasts later on to give you the credit.
Look real stupid for 15 seconds there, Bass Brothers, you bastards. I'm glad he left you behind.
Bass Brothers on a lot of the Eminem show. White America, Quaiting Out My Closet, Square Dance, which has an awesome beat, Drips with Obi Trice, Without Me, which is
they have writing credits on all this shit too.
Sing for the Moment, Superman, like.
Oh, so you mean the best songs on the album? It says that Eminem is the sole producer credit for Haley's song, which I like Haley's song a lot. All right, let's go to Encore. Let's see what's going on.
Let's dig in. Also,
Resto. This is where Resto shows up. That son of a bitch.
This makes a lot of sense too, because Without Me sounds like a classic Eminem beat.
Yeah.
You know, also Square Dance has that sort of weird kaleidoscope sort of music thing that they did a lot early on.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's fun, it's bouncy, you know what I mean? But like this dude Resto, what is Resto like? How about this? How about this, Eminem? You ready? Hold on. I gotta get something ready real quick before I say this.
Well, let's give credit on Mosh to Batson, whoever that is.
How about this, Eminem? Resto Changeo. I always accidentally click live before I fucking play it.
Anybody who needs something to go along with that, just imagine me chasing Andrew around a car
with a fly swatter.
Yeah, or a big fish.
A big fish. Yeah, that's way better. That's way
better. I was gonna make dinner, and then Andrew came in and ruined it, so now I have to chase him. I gotta say, on Relapse, a lot of Dr. Dre credits on Relapse.
Listen. I kind of like Relapse.
He kind of drove those accents into the ground. So
I half agree with him on that. Like, yeah. Relapse, I don't know. I maybe it's just because I listened to it so much as a kid and it's like burned into my head. Well, as a kid, I was like 19.
Oh, Jeff Bass is on Beautiful. He's
big song.
Yeah. But Mark Batson, now we got a full name, is on Old Time's Sake, which is maybe the best song on that album in my opinion.
Who did Stay Wide Awake?
Let's see, where's Stay Wide Awake? Dr. Dre.
That beat on Stay Wide Awake is pretty dope.
Yeah, Crack a Bottle, also Dr. Dre. Pretty good beat. Really stupid verse by 50 Cent, but
no, by fucking. Oh wait, is that 50 Cent? Dre has a really bad verse on one of the songs. That's on the weed smoking song.
Well, Crack a Bottle, he's on that too. I forget which song it is where he says that he smashed up his Cadillac, so now he's got to go get another. Is that the line you're thinking of?
No, I'm talking about. Hold on, it's his weed smoking song on there. It's Old Time's Sake. Must be the ganja. He says he opens his verse with how's it go? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's fire, there's flames. When there's flames, there's chronic. Either you high or you ain't. Shut up. Shut up.
Also,
you thought that was cool?
He showing up to the Century Club with his jeans on and his team strong. Not a good lyric. Did you know this? This might be some lore that you're aware of that I wasn't. Eminem wrote like most of the Chronic 2001, I think.
Oh, really?
Like most of Dre's bars in the Chronic 2001, they give. I think he wrote all of Forgot About Dre, including Dre's verses.
God, Eminem's verse on that song is so good. Yeah, writers. Mathers is the only guy listed as a writer on Forgot About Dre. What is fucking Dr. Dre's last name?
Oh, it's Andre.
Andre Young?
Andre Young, yeah.
So he wrote a lot of it, but Still Dre is Sean Carter. Is that Jay-Z?
Yeah.
So Jay-Z wrote Still Dre? That's crazy.
What's the... Hold on. I gotta find it. This is great.
One thing I'll tell you is this Resto motherfucker, right?
Uh-huh.
Couple things I'll give him. He produced... two of my favorite 50 Cent songs from Get Rich or Die Trying. He produced Patiently Waiting, which also has Eminem, fucking really good song. He also produced Many Men.
Okay, the
Donald
best.
Trump's current anthem.
No, don't. Isn't he trying to use a Taylor Swift song? Ain't Taylor Swift pretty mad about that?
He's been trying to use everybody's songs, and they're all
Yeah.
like, "Hey, dude, stop." He also produced "Moment of Clarity" by Jay-Z, which is a really, really good song. He did "My Band" by D12, fucking banger, dude.
Nope, I will not give you T12.
You don't like "My Band"? You don't like "My
No,
Band"?
that's one of
You're
the
not the,
that might be one of the Eminem first jump the shark moments. But I
God, I loved
understand.
that song when it came
Yeah,
out.
of
How old was
course.
I? How old was I? I'm the lead
Uh,
singer of my band. My salsa makes all the pretty girls want to dance.
nope. Uh,
2012, 2004. So I was a 8th grade / I was freshman in high school. God, I loved
uh,
that song.
oh, who wrote The Watcher? The Dr. Dre song, because I think Eminem co-wrote that.
Is that from 2001?
Yeah.
The Watcher, yeah. Dre and Eminem.
Because so I was watching some video and somebody was like, I can't ever say a bad thing about Eminem. He wrote "Things Just Ain't the Same for Gangsters." He's like, that's the hardest line of all time.
That is pretty sick. He also back to Resto. We're jumping back and forth. Resto
Yeah.
produced "Ghetto Gospel" by Tupac, which they use a Elton John song. Oh, it was produced by Eminem too. It says, hold on the Ghetto Gospel Wikipedia, it says the song was produced by American rapper Eminem and features a sample from Elton John's 1971 song "Indian Sunset." But Louis Resto's taking credit for this shit on his Wikipedia.
Resto's typing it in himself.
Come on, Resto. But Ghetto Gospel is really good. If you guys haven't heard Ghetto Gospel, and the molding in with Elton John was brilliant. And yes, it was Eminem. Fuck Louis Resto, bro.
I was at CVS yesterday picking up a prescription, and the woman in front of me was wearing a Machiavelli the 7-Day Theory Tupac shirt,
Yeah,
and I was like, Jesus, that is deep Tupac. And it was all like the airbrushed, it looked like a shirt that gets made at a mall.
Or like you buy on the walking at the booths at Venice Beach.
Yes, exactly. Or after the concert where they're like, you don't want to pay the Van Halen ticket price, you pay us for the outside T-shirt that we ironed on.
I just say nope to those guys from now on. Like, just why? Nope.
Yeah,
Nope. I don't want a T-shirt. No, I do
I
not.
will.
You don't have my size.
Okay, it looks like Recovery was a lot of DJ Khaled. There's
Really?
a lot of DJ Khaled.
Hey, Recovery's not bad though.
On Recovery.
I
No,
like Recovery.
it's not great, but it's not bad.
There's some good stuff. Let me pull up Recovery real quick.
No Love with Lil Wayne is great.
No Love's really good.
But that's just Blaze. That's not DJ Khaled. So
let's see what we got on Recovery. We got that's DJ Khalil, bro. What the fuck?
Oh,
you gotta squint, dog.
Yeah. So sorry, DJ. Well, I don't know who DJ Khalil is, but
DJ Khalil's gonna get you killed.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was like, wow, Eminem is that's weird.
I gotta give you. Have you listened to Cold Wind Blows lately? The opening track to that album?
Not in a long time.
Dude, that is one of the best opening tracks of any album ever. Like that, yeah. He goes so hard on that opening track. I mean, the album, like, I like what's the other one? Seduction. Seduction's good. Going Through Changes is kind of corny. If Proof could see me now, I know he'd be proud. He was really sad about Proof when this shit happened.
Well, yeah, imagine if I died, how many rap songs you would have to do to get over the loss of me.
Oh man, and I know so many words that rhyme with your name, but none of them are good.
No, now he's crusty. He's rusty. Yeah. Oh, it looks like Resto, DJ Khalil. There's Rick Rubin. You're on the Marshall Mathers LP2. More Rick Rubin.
Yeah, so this is just we
Uh,
need to get him back with the Bass Brothers.
yeah,
Where are the Bass Brothers? I need to find them somewhere.
chilling
Reach
in the
out to them.
chilling in the mansions that they that they have after the Eminem.
Hopefully, I
Yeah,
hope they have mansions. Did you? By the way, I know you had something to start with, but we got on this music tangent.
yeah.
I
Sorry.
I talked. No, I started it. I talked a couple weeks ago about how I wanted to watch Dirty Pop, the documentary about the what the fuck was that guy's name? The guy who started the Backstreet Boys and
Yeah.
NSYNC. I watched the first episode yesterday.
Okay.
Lou Pearlman. Lou Pearlman is the guy's name.
Right.
And it was very interesting watching, like, they were just basically like, hey, the New Kids on the Block, apparently they said the New Kids on the Block sold $200 million in records. They sold $800 million in merch and ticket sales.
Yeah.
And so this Lou Pearlman guy is just a con artist. Like he started off like he had planes and he would let stars lease his planes, like Michael Jackson and rock stars and a bunch of people. So he got into that business. He made some blimps, and apparently the blimps started crashing. So this guy was like, I watched the beginning of episode 2. In episode 2, one of Lou Pearlman's friends is like, everybody got a different story from Lou. The story I got from Lou is basically he called me and said, the blimps are crashing. I'm starting a boy band.
Well,
So go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, like, man, what a grift you had with CDs back in the day. Man, record companies used to be wild. Like, I saw an interview with Dave Grohl where it's him and Taylor Hawkins. I think they're on Howard Stern. And it's like, Howard Stern's asking him, so, like, after Kurt died, you must have been fine, like, money-wise. Why, like, how much money did you make in Nirvana? And he's like, oh, I don't know, you know? And he's trying to, like, defer this thing, you know, because Dave is only...
He doesn't want to say 75 grand.
Well, so he's on 3 Nirvana albums. I don't know what kind of residuals he got for Incesticide, because a lot of that was old recordings that they rushed out after Nevermind was a huge hit. But he's on Nevermind, In Utero, and the Unplugged in New York. And they're like 5 million, and he's like, no. And they're like 20 million, and he's like, oh, of course not. And they're like 10, and he's like, and they're like, you could have just retired. And he's like, no, I mean, we couldn't have, you know, I didn't care about the money. And then Taylor Hawkins is like, give me $10 million, you'll never see my ass again. So it's like, you know, you think about...
He would have swiftly overdosed.
I think
he would have more quickly overdosed if you gave him 10 million. Sorry, Taylor Hawkins.
But like, man, the 90s, like how rich all these dudes got. And like, I've listened to audiobooks talking about the music industry in the 90s, and they're like, Columbia Records could just take your band out, and they just had an expense card for like hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to take you to dinners to try to get you to sign with fucking RCA or whatever, you know.
Dude,
crazy.
So the reason that I started watching this was I was on YouTube, not YouTube, I was on Instagram the other day, and I saw Chris Kirkpatrick on my For You page, where you can, it's like a bunch of stuff that's... So I see Chris Kirkpatrick, I click Chris Kirkpatrick.
Sure.
I want to know what Chris is up to. The Ugly Beetle, you know what I mean? So I clicked, and it was just him saying, man, I didn't realize that Chris Kirkpatrick rhymed with get your ass kicked. I haven't gotten to that part, which is a very funny line. But
yeah,
while watching this, so the whole first episode, almost to the end, is about how much, like, so he makes the Backstreet Boys. He gets them all together. And by the way, what's his name? Brian. You know Brian, the Backstreet Boy?
Yeah. The curly-haired blonde dude.
Kevin's cousin, I think. He's one of their cousins.
Yeah.
And he's the luckiest motherfucker on the planet because he can sing. I think it was Kevin. They found Kevin. Kevin was doing Disney rides. He was doing Disney tours at in Orlando because they're all like, it was an Orlando based thing. And they signed Kevin. They need another singer. And Kevin was like, I got a cousin who can sing his ass off. And then Brian's in the band. And then so they start off just going to like high schools and playing at assemblies. And so they're going and they're singing at these high school assemblies. And then they somehow, like, it kind of jumps because they can't fit it all in one. But like they're doing these high school assemblies and middle schools. And it's just a bunch of videos of these fucking kids. AJ always has his shirt off, not at the schools, but like they're like standing in a circle and harmonizing together. It looks like the most fucking uncomfortable thing in the world. But so they start doing that.
Look at my eyes, bro, while we sing Middle C.
Yeah, it's weird. And then there's a part where like Brian is telling AJ that he's singing the wrong note, and AJ's getting really mad. It's very funny. But so then they go to Europe and they start doing shows in Europe, and they just explode in Europe. Like they were way big in Europe before they were famous at all in the United States. So then, because they got signed by this company that's based in Germany, so that's why they got big in Europe. They went out there and started doing promotional shit. So then one time, so they come back to the States, they get on TRL, they get on all these things, and they start to get really famous in the United States. And then they go back to Germany because they're still big in Europe, so they're still selling tickets there. When they go back to Germany, Lou Pearlman secretly creates NSYNC. He gets all these guys together. He gets Justin. He builds them around Justin, basically. And so he puts them together, and then he does the same thing with them. So like there's a video of NSYNC singing, and they're like smiling and stuff. They're in this like dilapidated classroom with like 20 girls in there, and the girls are not like, some girls have their like, they're leaning with their fist on their face and stuff. They are bored. They're bored as shit. And it's NSYNC singing to them, not knowing that in 3 years this is going to be one of the biggest bands on the planet, right? So he secretly creates NSYNC, and then Backstreet Boys start getting a little bit pissed, obviously, because he like created their competition. The Backstreet Boys say no to this Disney special that they wanted to do. And the Backstreet Boys said no. I can't remember. Oh, they wanted to go home. They wanted a vacation. So the NSYNC says yes to the Backstreet Boys, to what the Backstreet Boys said no to. NSYNC explodes. So he's got two giant bands, right? And then this is what I was getting to was NSYNC is now huge. They're playing these big shows. They're everywhere. They're doing all this stuff. They're super famous. They have a gold record. They get presented with a gold record and a check. And the check, Chris Kirkpatrick goes, because Chris Kirkpatrick was a waiter at Applebee's when they found him. And Chris Kirkpatrick goes, I get handed a gold record and our first check, that because before then Lou Pearlman was just paying for everything. He was paying for their flights. He was paying for their, like, all their stuff. And he's like, I open up the check and I look and I go, wow, $10,000. This is the most money I've ever seen in my life. And then I can't remember who he said. I think he said like JC was like, how much money did you make a year at Applebee's? And he goes, oh shit. He realized that he was making less money in NSYNC than he was as a waiter at Applebee's. So the rest of the series, because Lou Pearlman ended up going to prison. He was like a super huckster. He's like money laundering and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how the rest of it went. But to find out that they sold out all these shows, they were on all these things, they sold enough records to get a gold record, and they got paid $10,000 a piece. Like, and then apparently at that point, JC was the guy in NSYNC who started to notice, and I think it was Brian in the Backstreet Boys who started to notice and go, hey, this is bullshit. Like, Brian said that he went in and begged for him to make it right, to give them money, and Lou Pearlman wouldn't do it. And then JC got them a lawyer, and Chris Kirkpatrick's telling the story, and he's like, JC got us a lawyer, and we were like, okay, yeah, finally this is all going to be fixed. And he said, rather than the big moment where it's like, okay, this is how I fix everything, it was the lawyer kind of took his glasses off and put his hand on his head. Like, I'm guessing the lawyer read the contract and realized they were screwed.
Yeah, they had to sue Lou, or the NSYNC at least, sued Lou Pearlman to get out of the deal that they signed, because they signed like a major predatory deal,
Yeah.
and like the it's crazy when you think about it. Like, I'm looking right now, the run of the Backstreet Boys, if you want to be generous, uh 4 years. They were 1996, they released Backstreet Boys. No one cares, really. In Europe they kind of care, right? But it's that album's not a huge hit. But then Backstreet's back. Hey, all
They're
right, they're
back.
back.
Backstreets
Yeah,
are back. Yeah.
that's 97. So 96 Backstreet Boys, 97 Backstreet's back, 99 is Millennium. 2000 Black and Blue, they're already kind of on their way out. Like, they lose to NSYNC because NSYNC had better songs, and like I don't know. The Kevin had it rough because Kevin's like 30 years old in this band in 1999. You know,
Black and Blue still a big success though. It sold over 15 million copies worldwide.
yeah, but then 2005 is when the next album comes out, and by
That's
then
when they're old.
they're
Geezers.
washed.
They're geezers at
They're
that point.
100% washed by then. But like, really, the phenomenon of the Backstreet Boys is like a 4 to 5 year uh situation. And what's also funny is I was listening to somebody the other day talk about, like, all of their songs were written by these Swedish pop hit makers who just make, same thing with Britney Spears, all of that bubblegum pop. Like, most of those songs are written from a factory in Sweden, where they don't care about the words. It's all about how the syllables per line and how they match up to the beat. And it's like, it creates these earworms. They have like a math formula for how it works. Because if you look at the lyrics to "I Want It That Way," they don't make a goddamn lick of sense.
Well, it's
Like,
like, have you ever heard Bo Burnham's song "Repeat Stuff"?
yeah,
It's like that. It's
yeah.
the same thing.
Um, but they like, and that's why Justin Timberlake says that the song came out, it's gonna be May, instead of it's gonna be me, because me is too hard of a, like, period on the end of that phrase. And so the Swedish guy that they were recording with was like, no, it's May. It's going to be May. And they had to re-record it a bunch of times.
Well, yeah, because it's gonna be me. It doesn't
Right.
sound nearly as cool as May.
No. That would ruin the tour.
That
Which
would ruin
tour?
the world tour.
The world tour.
So, do you want to guess how long NSYNC's run was? I'm talking album to album, first album to last album.
You mean last big album? Like the main
No,
run?
period. Last album.
Oh, okay. So
They didn't continue.
I'm saying 97 is when NSYNC, whatever that first album's called.
It's called NSYNC.
Okay.
I will tell you, yes, that was 97.
Okay. I think that they're done 2002.
2001, July 24th, 2001, they released Celebrity. 4 years for
Yep.
NSYNC as well.
That's, I mean, because that thing's not made like it is disposable pop music, which isn't bad, like, but it doesn't, the shelf life of it's so short. And then Napster, probably Napster and the sharing sites and all of that stuff is partially responsible, because it ruined the CD business too. Like,
Yeah, this whole we get music for free, like it's just another way that the internet is ruining the world, because it's declined the quality of music because people don't want to put out albums anymore. It's declined the type of music that people put out. I mean, even this was pre that, but it was
Right.
it was, but we still had original music being made at the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the industry's not built for that anymore. If you either make singles, or you make copyright free music that you could sell to companies so people can put it on their YouTube videos, or you sell out fucking stadiums. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's, I think, why people are so attached to Chappell Roan right now, because her music's very fun and very poppy, and it's like,
is that how you say that?
I think it's Chappell Roan. That's how I say it.
I always thought it was Chappelle. I don't know. I don't know shit
Yeah.
about her. I've just
There.
recently been seeing her.
Okay. What about Britney Spears? What do you think the Britney Spears run is?
I think she had a little bit more longevity. How did you have it in front of you?
Got it in front of me.
Okay, so I'm guessing her first album, I mean, was in the same era, 97, 98?
Baby One More Time comes out in 1999.
99. Okay.
Yep.
Because we're talking about like she even had a hit with It's Britney Bitch, which is like much later. I can't remember what that song is called.
I believe they call that a comeback though. Don't call it a comeback, but I think that's a comeback song.
Okay, so we're talking like big swinging Britney dick.
Yeah.
5 years.
Just about. Baby One More Time 99. Oops, I Did It Again 2000. So they just fucking right back around.
Oh yeah,
you know.
they did it with all of them. They had to do that. It was like Ernest movies.
Right. Britney Goes to the Olympics is 2001. No, Britney is 2001. That has I'm a Slave for You on it. I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman.
That's number 1 in the U.S.
Yeah, and
In
then
the Zone, number 1 in the U.S.
In the Zone. Yeah, well, In the Zone has Toxic, which, as we've discussed before, maybe the greatest the greatest pop song of all time.
Listen, I'm the only one who can say that now because you guys put fucking Adele over that shit.
It's
look weirdos, both of you.
So 99 to 03. So that's 4 years. That's because then she takes a break. There's a 4-year gap.
07 Blackout comes out, and that's number 2. Is that the one with?
I think that's I'm Britney Bitch. I don't know what that song's called, but Give Me More.
It might be Give Me More. Who is it? I know. Work, Bitch. Oh no, that's a different song. Give Me More. I think it is Give Me More. Yeah.
And then like she's just kind of making albums after that, but she's not. Then she's in like a weird space where she's like a legacy act, even though she's less than 10 years being famous.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, listen, everybody listening, I don't subscribe to this, but Britney was like out of her mid-20s at that point.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes who like Britney Spears liked her because she was 16. Yeah.
Well, and she had the whole middle thing where she's went quote unquote crazy. No,
like, we don't have to quote unquote that. She went crazy.
Well, yeah, but I don't. There were a lot of exterior forces. I feel like
That's true. There's a lot of exterior forces for Ed Gein.
Oh yeah, those feel like internal forces too.
Nobody chooses to go crazy.
Yeah, there's a really good Craig Ferguson monologue where he talks about why he's not going to make fun of Britney Spears anymore. Which not everybody has to subscribe to, but like I find it very interesting.
Yeah, and, you make fun of my dead mom. You know what I mean? Like,
you more make fun of your. I make fun of my dead mom. We both make fun of.
You call me a no mom having bitch every once in a while.
That's true, but only because you do it back to me.
You make fun of my stomach ailments. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is, like, and this could be hypocritical. Whatever, I don't care. Okay. I'm not gonna make fun. I'm not gonna walk up to Britney Spears and say, "What's up, fucking wackadoo," and like put a hat with a pinwheel on her head or anything like that. But like, dude, she is dancing with knives in her underwear on Instagram. Like, if I'm not allowed to call that crazy, I don't think I'm in America anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. That's. I mean, it's a fine point. That's. Yeah.
Did you know Kevin Federline's from Fresno?
I did not know that, but it does.
It lines up.
Yeah, having not known that, it doesn't change my opinion of him at all.
He moved to Carson City, Nevada when he was 8, but he returned to Fresno when he was 11. When he and his brother moved to his father's house in 9th grade, Federline dropped out of high school, and he got a GED and delivered pizzas for work. He moved to LA in 96, so he was in Fresno for a long time.
Yeah,
that's where Dusty lives. Everybody.
That's.
I'll tell you his address.
Yeah, shouting out my my location.
Yeah.
Okay, what I wanted to talk about before we went on this long yet entertaining tangent.
Yeah.
All right, they've gone too far, Andrew.
I'm interested.
That's right. I'm putting my foot down. There is now a pre-order available for a Coca-Cola / Oreo cookie crossover.
I thought this would be right up your. This is Treat City, dog.
Yeah, but I don't look. Oreo Coca-Cola sandwich cookie sounds gross to me. A Coca-Cola flavored cookie is not something I'm interested in. It's got to be liquid form. It's like acid. You can't take it in a different form.
Okay, so what sounds worse? The Oreo cookie. I mean the Coca-Cola cookie or the Oreo Coca-Cola?
That's the other problem. They went too far.
Yeah.
They spent so much time wondering if they could do it.
Yeah.
They didn't think about if they should do it.
It's
Yeah,
a crime against God.
the Oreo soda sounds so much worse.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
But they both sound bad. Like,
Yeah.
if gun to my head, I guess I eat the cookie because at least I can wrap my head around that. Why would I want cookie parts in my soda? It sounds like
I don't think there's cookie parts in your soda. I think it is just the
it's
soda
flavored.
is supposed to taste like Coke. But I can't find like a link to this that isn't like an obvious scam link. All right, I found one. The Cincinnati Enquirer. Okay.
Well, I'm on Oreo.com. Like I plugged into the mainframe.
Yeah, Coca-Cola Oreo zero sugar. Oh, there's zero sugar in it. That's gonna be great. Fans can savor the smooth fusion of a refreshing Coca-Cola taste with flavorful hints inspired by Oreo cookies. God damn! Where can I buy these?
You have to pre-order them. They're on the pre-order stage right now.
I refuse to do that.
Can you imagine pre-ordering cookie?
Yeah,
I want this cookie so bad.
A novelty marketing cookie. I'm not gonna play into this bullshit. I saw through the bullshit.
And I don't want to be this guy, you know. Maybe a brick wall will appear behind me and I have a microphone already. So all I need is a blazer. But I think Oreo's gone too far. There's madness at the Oreo factory.
Yeah,
because I don't know how you feel because I know you're not a treats guy.
There's madness. There's madness abound at the Oreo factory.
Fucking Willy Wonka bought an absorbed Oreo and is now making it subject to his experiments.
I heard it as like a 1940s newscaster. There's madness at the Oreo factory.
Today, madness at the Oreo factory. How do you feel? Do you like Oreos? Like just your straight up?
Yeah, I like
Oreo?
an Oreo.
Yeah,
like an Oreo.
They're good.
I never buy them, but they're good.
They are good. I believe that there are 3 acceptable Oreo varieties.
Oh, now you lost me. Give me the Oreos. Just you don't have to pretty up the Oreos. You know. Well, I have a crossover, by the way. I'm gonna write this down. I have a crossover that just happened that I think might sound tantalizing.
Well, stay with me.
Yeah.
All right. Original OG Oreo, hanging in the rafters. Hall of Fame Oreo.
Hall of Fame cookie. Yeah, it really is.
Maybe the best. I accept the double stuff Oreo. More Oreo stuff in the Oreo. Great. Give me that Oreo.
I'm okay with that. You know, I like the ratio, the original ratio, but the filling is pretty good, so I can't really get too mad at it.
The thin Oreo. Sure.
Less cookie?
Then yeah, I think it's like maybe better. It absorbs the milk. I could imagine this is a better milk absorption
receptacle.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. I haven't seen these before.
And then that's it. All of your other Oreos, get the fuck out of town, Oreo. Stop.
Yeah, I don't need the vanilla ones.
Here's the thing. I just went to the Target app. They are selling an absurd amount of Oreos.
So
Yeah,
there's the thin Oreo. So it's just less Oreo. They probably charge you the same, and they make so much more money.
but
It
it's
looks like there's less filling. It looks like you actually see. I was expecting the same amount of filling, less Oreo. You get a different ratio. It
right.
looks like they tried to maintain the ratio, but it
No,
also looks like we might be getting more cookie flavor than cream flavor on that. I would
yeah,
try it, but I venture to say that the original Oreo is probably better.
yeah. Uh, golden Oreo. That's, I believe, the vanilla Oreo. Don't care. Don't want it. Get it
Yeah,
away
I
from me.
don't. Whatever. Yeah, and I usually like vanilla stuff, but I don't eat it.
Um, the well, okay, the mint Oreo. I think there are better uses of mint. Mint chocolate chip,
So I'm
good
guessing
ice
we're
cream.
talking like mint cream on the
Yeah,
inside.
it's mint cream with the regular cookie.
Yeah, whatever. I don't need
Yeah,
it. It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
not into it. Chocolate peanut butter pie sandwich Oreo. Too many things in the Oreo.
It's
You're
too many
starting to
words.
starting to fuck. The great thing about Oreo is it's just the cookie and it's just the filling, and
I
those are
gotta see what
both
these.
delicious. Uh,
What makes it a
lemon.
sandwich?
Yeah, lemon Oreo. No, thank you.
Yeah, what are we
Out
doing?
out of town. Uh, and then there's the dark chocolate Oreo. Eh,
No.
uh, uh.
No. A less sweet Oreo? Go fuck yourself. That's the
Coffee
worst one.
Coffee Crunch Oreo, or sorry, Toffee Crunch.
Oh, okay.
They have a Java chip Oreo also, which is why I think I mixed those two things up.
This chocolate peanut butter pie Oreo is it's just
look. That's the hubris of man.
this is a crime against God.
Like you. Oh, of course, the pumpkin spice Oreo. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
The
mean I bet that one's better than the chocolate peanut butter pie Oreo.
look there's such a thing, and this is coming from a man who loves a treat. There's such a thing as too much thing. Like
You're
you've
messing with a good thing.
yeah, you boiled down Oreo to the beautiful essence of what an Oreo is. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, I know. I'm picking up what you're putting down hard. That doesn't look good. I just pulled up the pumpkin spice Oreo. Does not look good. I would try
and,
it because I'm interested what it tastes like.
yeah.
But
What about the
we're still going.
Oreo Sour Patch Kids
Oh, go
crossover?
fuck yourself. You can't mix chocolate and gummy treats.
It's sour shit. No, I don't even know. I guess it's the sour stuff as the cream in the middle of the Oreo. I would have to imagine is how they've made that happen. Unless it's the outside. Either way, it's gross. Either way, I don't want it.
So we're not doing chocolate. Apparently, it's like a vanilla Oreo with sour patch notes. You
Nah,
know what I mean?
fucking two times, dude.
We don't
I
need
don't.
it.
No,
Yeah, we don't need it.
I
Fuck it 2 times. That's the B side for
love me
the
two times.
Doors.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fuck it 2 times.
Yeah, or maybe fuck off two times. Love me
That shit is lame.
yeah, love me two times and fuck off two times.
Two times.
Yeah, that's the B side. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I get it. You're trying to make money every way you can, but like, uh, is Oreo not making enough money? Did they need more Oreo varieties? Were there cries in the street for chocolate peanut butter Oreos?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just you've perfected a cookie, dog.
Yeah,
Stop making other cookies, dog.
they
Like
want
how much money does Oreos make?
right. They want them all because
Do you
other
think you're getting a new market when you make the Sour Patch Kids one? You know.
what all you're getting are weirdos who want to see what it tastes like.
All right, I've got a mashup
Okay,
that you might be interested in because I'm this one might have got me. This one might have got me, Dusty.
okay.
Krispy Kreme donuts
Ooh,
is going to do for football season. I don't know when this is starting or what's going on. A epic new collaboration. Krispy Kreme donuts is collaborating with Dr. Pepper.
okay.
And one of the things that they're making
is the Dr. Pepper Kickoff, which is an original glazed donut stuffed with Dr. Pepper cream, topped with burgundy sprinkles and a chocolate Dr. Pepper logo.
I feel like if I ate that, I would be sick. Again,
Of course.
I don't want look. I don't want the soda in solid form at all. I think that might be where my my issue lies.
I want
Like,
to try this Dr. Pepper cream.
it needs
Dr. Pepper, one of the best tasting sodas.
That's true. It just like imagine the sweetness, like the incredible level of sweetness, because Dr. Pepper is pretty sweet. It's not crisp in the way that like Coke is, to me at least. Like it has more sweet notes, and you're putting that inside of a glazed donut. Uh, that is also, and the Krispy Kreme donuts in particular are like sickeningly sweet.
God damn, I love a Krispy Kreme donut, dude.
That's
oh
why
boy, they melt in your mouth.
Yeah, there's a Krispy Kreme not far from my house or far from the Target that I go pick stuff up at, and I have to constantly be like, you don't need to go to Krispy Kreme. There's no legitimate reason for you to go to Krispy Kreme right now.
There's one relatively near my place, and I have not gone.
Yeah, that's they have good donuts. They're not the greatest donut, but they're very good.
I'm a fan, man. I don't know. I like the maple bar from other places, but the regular glazed donut, I don't know. I like that Krispy Kreme.
They have the best glazed donut, I would say. The glazed donuts that I try, I like your mom and pop. The guy gets up at 4 a.m., makes the donut. Like,
bro, I met some donut people. They get up earlier than that sometimes. Like they are almost working throughout the night to make donuts, which is crazy.
As of February 2023, Oreo's reported sales of over $4 billion. Where do you think the majority of that money's coming from? Is that coming from pumpkin spice Oreos, or is that coming from Oreos?
Yeah, they've sold 60 grand of the Sour Patch Kids ones. And even that's trumped up numbers.
Yeah, you've diluted your brand. You've done the opposite of what In-N-Out has done, which we've often talked about on this podcast, is the model you should have. Make your really good thing and don't fuck around with the other things. Why make the second best chicken sandwich? Like, just make the best thing and leave the rest to everybody else.
Yeah, just get really, really freaking good at one thing, Elon, and don't diversify too much. Get us to Mars and go fuck yourself with everything else. I like your cars too. Let's sell Twitter. How about that?
Yeah, the Cybertruck, I'm not on board. I've seen
Everybody swings and misses every once in a while.
I've seen it in the wild. It looks crazy. Plus, it cuts your hand off. So
I think
it's no good. All
that is a tough.
That is a design flaw.
There's a couple of really bad design flaws on the Cybertruck.
How does
it? Funny.
All right. How does it get off of the line if one of the things is, hey, this might cut your finger off?
Because he sets really ambitious deadlines, even though this one took fucking like 9 years longer than it was supposed to. I saw a video where a guy he faked that his charger was stuck in the charger port.
Yeah.
Just to show you how to, because there's like a manual release for the charger port, because if your charger gets stuck in there, because there's some like latching mechanism that is electric, that if it fails, you have to have like a manual way to get the charger thing out. So he's like, I want to show you, he's like a Cybertruck enthusiast. So he's like, I want to show you guys how to manually release this. So he gets it stuck in there, and then he opens his trunk, and there's literally like a wire with a ring at the end of it. And you put your finger in the ring and you pull the wire, and it goes thunk and releases the thing. But it broke. Like I don't know if it's supposed to be like a one-time use or something, right. But it broke immediately. It released the thing, but it broke immediately. And he was still trying to be all like optimistic about like, oh man, well at least they have that feature in there. By the way, just so people don't go, oh, the things get stuck. My thing wasn't actually stuck. Blah blah blah. But
so I've broken my very expensive truck for no reason at all.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's cool. Thanks, Elon. But the Model 3 is dope. I like the Model 3. Model S is really sick. A lot of like the normal cars that you see driving around, they are cool cars. And but the Cybertruck is he's gone a little bit mad with the
Yeah,
Cybertruck.
he's worried that RoboCop is going to try to come take him out of the truck, and that's what it looks like. It looks like it's from the some sort of RoboCop future.
Yeah.
Or the Minority Report cars that are all stuck on the grid or whatever.
See, I've seen a lot of them in the wild, and sometimes I see it, and I'm like, that looks pretty fucking boss. I wouldn't drive one. Could you imagine me getting out of a Cybertruck? I'd be so annoying.
Only if you did the Firefly wrap around it.
Oh, I'd hit you with a double guns every time I get out of it.
I put the DeLorean doors on it so it opened up,
Oh, they've got that on the Model X.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course they do, because he's a big dork.
And then there's been problems with those too sometimes. But yeah, he thinks weird things are cool. But I wanted to do this really quick. Every once in a while, I like to go on Cameo and just see what everybody's charging and like watch some previews. You know what I mean?
Is Cameo still a thing?
Hold on. Is what?
Is Cameo still like a thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It doesn't seem to have as much juice as it did a few years ago.
They're killing it, dude. Okay. Cameo's doing pretty well. It was like new back in the day, so more people were talking about it. But like Tony Hawk's on there. There's some guys on there that I'm like, dude, what are you doing on Cameo? Like, they got one of Steve Wozniak from Apple's on there. But I think what happens is Cameo, to legitimize their app, they offer people deals to do cameos. You know what I mean?
Well, what else did Tony Hawk do? All he has to do is skateboard all day. Like
he's got a pretty cool podcast, but he doesn't. He's probably busy, but he's not busy like normal people are busy.
Right.
But I found a few funny ones. Sebastian Bach is a psychopath. And his hair's crazier than ever. He just looks really old with the hair that he always has had, and he obviously sings. If you get one from Kenny G, it costs like $300, but he plays his soprano sax. He'll like tell you happy birthday, and then he'll pull out his sax and play it. But the one I want to show you is Wayne Newton.
I am first shocked that Wayne Newton is still alive.
I know. Richard Petty's on there, and I didn't know he was alive either. The King.
You just imagine a whole old race drivers are dead already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's
Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton he's going to end up in a landfill when he dies. Like,
yeah.
We're not going to watch this whole thing. It's 38 seconds long. We just need to watch the first like 8 to 10 seconds of it, and you'll know why once I do it. Hopefully I shared my audio.
Surprise, yeah, Rosie, or should I say, slut mama. I want you to know that Akeem reached out to me.
Somebody told him to call his wife slut mama.
And for $42, Wayne Newton will do it.
300 bucks. 300 bones for Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton looks like a replicant from Blade Runner now.
He looks like a wax figure.
Yeah, his skin is way too tight. It's
oh man, if you didn't have the video for that, guys, you guys gotta watch the video, because he leans in real sexy and says "slut mama." It was great. Great. It made me happy. There were a lot of really funny ones, but that's the one I picked out. By the way, if you're looking, do you know who AJ and Big Justice are?
No, I have no idea.
Oh man, I got to bring them to the podcast next week. It's AJ and Big Justice are a father-son duo who are on YouTube who make terrible videos, and they're addicted to Costco, and they've been very polarizing on the internet, because some people are like, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen, and some people are like, this just seems like a dad having fun with his son. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they've got another son who's the youngest son. He's the fattest kid in the world, and they call him the Rizzler. And the Rizzler has become a really funny internet meme that I need to cue you in on, because you'll see a funny Rizzler reference at some point, and it'll make your day.
I'll need to be.
You got to check out AJ and Big Justice. Big Justice is the little boy.
Oh,
and
okay.
They always go, boom. That's their thing.
We got 8 months of martini olives at Costco for $32. boom.
Dude, they are very into Costco. They
Well,
do.
It's a thing that happened. I don't know if it's like getting into World War II, not liking new music, and you start to see why Costco makes sense as a wholesaler. You know, as
Yeah.
you get older, you're like, well, I don't need like tomorrow. I don't need 3 things of mustard, 364-ounce bottles of mustard, but I'm gonna keep eating mustard, and if I invest my money now, that's going to play out. I'm not going to run out of mustard. It's going to be great.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I was at Vaughn's yesterday, and they have these like membership things where it's like if you're a member, you get a fucking 20 cents off this thing.
Yeah.
It was like this thing of tortillas was like $1 off, but you got to buy 4 of them.
Yeah.
You know who uses that many tortillas?
Big Justice and
Big Justice definitely.
Yeah.
The Rizzler is pound. I'm gonna show you a picture of the Rizzler.
Well, yeah. Whenever I was single, I would go to Costco sometimes with like a friend of mine or something. They were going shopping, and I would think about like maybe I get a Costco membership, and I was just like, it's never gonna happen because I can't possibly.
That's the Rizzler.
Yeah, I just couldn't foresee needing that much stuff. And even now that I'm married and there's more people that live in this house, I still can't like think about the economics of how much it costs to shop at Costco and the membership. Like sometimes if the line is too long at CVS and I'm buying something, I don't even put in my loyalty number because I just want to leave. They're like, "Do you have an account with us?" No. I don't care. I don't need 32 cents off of this toothbrush that I'm buying. I just want to leave.
See, that's where we got different. We are different because I'll put it in simply because I don't want them to say, "Can I sign you up real quick?" So
I just
yes,
go,
I already do.
I'm good. Do you want one? It's free. No, good. No, thanks. So quick aside, we are wanting to put a bunch of mulch in our yard so that it takes care of the weeds and aesthetically it looks nice, right? We're in because I want low maintenance yard because I hate doing yard work.
Yeah.
So, but to do that,
You're old and young at the same time.
yeah, I don't want to have to yell if I don't have a lawn. I can't ever utter the words, "Hey, I wish you would get off my lawn." Although I do get mad when trash is in my yard that I assume young people on my street have thrown into
that
my
happens
yard.
That happens right outside my apartment, and
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody's gonna fucking think this was me, and I don't want anybody to think this was me.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna.
There's also poop right outside my apartment. For
Oh,
some reason. It's been there for like a week, and I don't know who did it.
See, you pay you pay for a grounds crew, so that shouldn't be your issue.
I know.
But I was like, okay, I gotta go buy apparently to fill up this small rose bed of in our front yard, I have to buy a metric fuck ton of mulch to take care of that. So I go to Home Depot. I get, for the first time in my life, the big long cart because I can't
rite of passage, dog.
I can't fit the amount of mulch I need in a shopping cart. Will not do the job. I stack like 20 bags of mulch on this thing, right? Gotta pay for it. Now I have to get it into my Ford hatchback car. Not a single bag of mulch more would have fit in my car. It's me.
Oh, were you proud?
I made it. You know.
Did you stand there and admire it for a second?
Yeah. It's me. 20 bags of mulch. That's all that's in this car now. And you have to you have to do the mulch and you have to get it all ready to go and all of that shit. And I get it done. And then I kind of hate it. And
you don't like what it looks like?
It's okay. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened. I mean, I guess it'll help. It helps with the weeds, which is what it's intended to do.
Yeah.
You know.
God, I can't wait for that first fucking weed to sprout out of the mulch. Oh boy.
I'm But I go to pay, right? This is where the story was going. I go to pay, and the guy's like, "Would you like to save $25 today?" And I go, "How do I do that?" And he goes, "You sign up for the Home Depot card." And I go, "Do I have to put the purchase of the mulch on the card to get the $25 off?" And he goes, "Yeah. You get a proof of the card in like 2 minutes. Takes $25 off, but you have to charge the card with the purchase that you're making today." Let's go. No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, $25 off. That's like a quarter off of your purchase. Yeah, no, I heard you.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
That's also a hard inquiry on your credit score.
On my credit score, and now
your credit score would go down.
And now I have to think about the fact that I have to remember to pay this bill on time. It's just sitting out there. How about I just I just give you the money, you give me the mulch, and that's the end of it. And he's like,
"Yeah, I get to take these shoes with goldfish in them home and wear them."
Right. I don't know why you're complicating the deal. And he's just and he's like, I don't even know that he's necessarily really trying to hard sell me. I think his brain doesn't understand why I don't want $25 off, because that's a fairly substantial amount of money. But I'm also like, well, I just loaded 20 bags of this fucking mulch and had to wheel it all the way up here. I don't want to stand here and do a hard inquiry
No.
on my credit. I just want to get this home. And the guy just puzzled, just as puzzled as he could be. But I stood my ground.
Do that. I told you recently that I got a new credit card just so I get $200 off of my registration.
Oh no!
Did I tell you that
with AAA?
So no. So what I did was my registration got sent to my dad's house. My registration renewal. And I did, because I haven't switched my address over. So
we get it. You have a second place you can get mail. Cool.
Listen, I have a living parent. I'm sorry. But I didn't know that it got sent. Well, then he told me, and I still lagged. So it's not 100% not my fault. But
sure.
I got a penalty on there. I might have gotten multiple penalties. My registration ended up being $600.
Okay.
To renew. So what I did was I went online and I found a credit card that had one of those deals that's like, if you spend $500 in the first 3 weeks, you get $200 credit.
Ooh.
So I just got a new credit card because it helps your credit score to get new credit cards. So I signed up for the credit card, got it, immediately paid for my tags with it, and got $200 off my tags. Thank you, Capital One, and then paid that credit card off, and we're gravy.
Yeah. You really ran a system that way.
Gamed them.
Yeah.
I got them.
That's
take them for all they have.
Take them for all they got. All right. I would say this is possibly the main event of the week. Last week, if you listen to the podcast, we went through video game movies because Borderlands came out and ate it epically. Just meteorite right into the garbage can.
Yeah.
And we mentioned one of the Rock's Black Adam, just kind of off the cuff. And
yeah, because it started with Doom, because he was in Doom.
Yeah.
And then we went to Black Adam.
And I was like, well, we should do a recounting of the Rock's movie career, kind of in the same way. Now I have to tell you, I got pretty deep in the weeds here, Andrew.
Okay.
I signed up for a free trial of Excel on my iPad. So shit. I have a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson centric Excel spreadsheet that I've made for this podcast. Okay. I got charts, I got graphs, I got information. I have 7 rows of information.
Okay.
For The Rock.
You know what? I don't feel like talking about this. See you guys. We'll see you next week.
I'll kill you. You don't want to hear the info from my Excel spreadsheet, the Rockography. Dwayne "The Rockography.
We're living on a different Dwayne of existence, dog.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, dude, hold on real quick. They've started using the Rizzler as a weapon.
Well, they're probably knocking down the things Costco puts down at night so people can't break in. They're using.
You know what they're knocking down is prices.
That's true. Really, if you price it out, you're going to save money. Yes, you have to sign up, but you can also buy tires here. So eventually you start to see yourself in the green. All right. Do you want to guess how many movies The Rock has been a featured actor in? So I went to his IMDb. I took out all of the cameos. I took out the direct to video movies that he's in. These are the movies that I would consider him to be a significant part of.
21.
You have lowballed Dwayne The Rock Johnson. There are 37 movies that qualify, I feel like.
God damn.
For
Is
The
Be
Rock.
Cool on that list?
Be Cool is on that list.
Hell yeah.
This is from 2001 to 2022. Because he hasn't released a movie since then. He was
37 movies in 21 years.
Yeah,
It's too many movies.
He's prolific. The most prolific year for Dwayne The Rock Johnson was 2013. He had four films come out that year. So once every 3 months, you're getting to see The Rock. In 2013.
Trying to think if I can. Do you think I can name one of those movies?
It'd be tough. There's one big franchise. There's one movie where I think they wanted it to be bigger than it was. Oh, there's two franchises, and then a really terrible movie.
I'm trying to think of what was in what 2013 would have been for The Rock, because it's way post The Mummy.
Yeah.
But I think it's pre-Fast, right?
It is not pre-Fast.
Oh, Fast 6.
Fast 6 came out in 2013.
Yes.
Cost $210 million to make. Made $788 million worldwide.
I feel like they did pretty good on that one.
Yeah. Do you want to guess the Rotten Tomatoes critic score?
Critic score
for this movie? Yes.
64%.
We're looking at 71 for Fast 6. Do you want to guess the audience score?
%92.
Closer, 84%.
Fuck.
Where he plays Lucas Luke Hobbs.
Luke Hobbs, bro.
Why not?
And no, I did not name my cat after that Hobbs.
Whatever you say. Why not as a screenwriter just make his name Luke? Why is it got to be? Nobody calls him Lucas in these movies.
Well, when you have a backstory that it shows that he has a mommy.
Sure. Luke, he's not just Luke.
Yeah, it adds some vulnerability and history to the character, Dustin.
Sure. That's my mistake. All right.
You're talking like Louis Resto right now.
37 films in The Rock's filmography. Throw me a number.
We'll go Brett Gardner, 11.
Number 11 on this list, Get Smart from 2008. You know about Get Smart?
Steve Carell?
The Steve Carell movie, yes.
I didn't know The Rock was in that.
Well, you did not remember his starring turn as Agent 23?
I think I watched that movie with a girl.
So you don't remember much of it.
I do not remember much about that movie.
Cost $80 million to make, made $230. So not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah. Do you want to guess the critic score?
I feel like that movie wasn't that good. 47%.
51. Not bad.
Very close. All right. I'll take that.
What do you think the people thought? He's the people's champ. Where are the people at on Get Smart?
72%.
67. You're in the margins. Yeah, you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, I think I wanted Get Smart to be really good, and then it was just kind of okay. I don't remember anything about it. Like I can't tell
Yeah.
you one joke or one gag or one setup. They gave me nothing. All right, give me another one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Walking Tall from 2004.
Mm.
Hmm.
So Walking Tall and the Rundown were like, they were like Black Sheep and Tommy Boy.
Yeah, Rundown is 2003. Comes out right before Walking Tall. They're back to back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're relatively similar movies if I remember correctly. I saw both of them in the theater, by the way.
Well, the Rundown he plays, I guess, the Rundown he plays like a guy who goes and gets. He's like a heavy for mafia or drug dealer guy, right?
Yeah.
He's a reluctant heavy, and then Walking Tall, I think, is he like comes back to his hometown and it's ran by shitheads. And then he's one man, he's got to stand up to the shitheads.
Is Walking Tall the Sean William Scott one?
No, that's the Rundown.
The Rundown.
He's got to.
He's running down Sean William Scott.
He has to go to Central America to catch Sean William Scott. Runs into Rosario Dawson. What a win for him.
And Mr. Chris Walken.
And one Christopher Walken, who runs the shitty town that Sean William Scott is in. So
yeah.
Walking Tall cost $46 million to make.
Who else is in Walking Tall?
Let me see. There's not really anybody I remember. I don't think I saw Walking Tall because Walking Tall is also a remake of like a 70s movie with Joe Don Baker, who's a classic.
I'm not gonna look at anything. I'm just looking at who's in it.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville.
That's your
That's your other guy.
Yeah, that's your Sean William Scott type.
Yeah.
Michael Bowen. Oh, it's this guy, Neil McDonough. That guy's
that guy.
That guy's got a face. You know that guy's face.
That guy's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that Walking Tall made. Well, give me the box office. Give me the box office.
So the budget's 46. The gross 57. Not great for the old Rock.
Yeah,
on that one.
That sucks because I want Knoxville to be
swimming in it.
Swimming in it, yeah.
Where are we out on the critics?
45.
We're walking low. 26. Things are bad. Where's the audience?
57.
59.
Okay.
The audience
I know my people, dude. I'm a man of the people.
The audience is rooting for Chris Vaughn Jr.
Is that his name?
That's his name in this movie.
Hell yeah.
The Rock has some of the weirdest names because he's a guy like The Rock only looks like The Rock looks, Yeah. And so I'm gonna throw you some names, and then you let me know if you want to know the corresponding movie that he was in with this name. Okay. Joe Kingman.
No.
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter.
Jack Bruno. The Rock is not me.
I feel like I've seen that one. What movie's that?
Jack Bruno is 2009's Race to Witch Mountain.
I certainly have not seen that. I bet that movie sucks balls.
How'd
that one do?
Cost 50 to make. Made 106. It's looking okay. But do we think Race to Witch Mountain was enjoyed by the critics at Rotten Tomatoes?
Fuck no. That's a 22%.
That's got a 42. They'd rather see that. They'd rather see that than Walking Tall.
By double.
Yeah.
Almost.
Where do you think the people are?
Carla Gugino is in that, by the way.
That she is.
Gugino.
Yes.
The critics were at what? 42?
Yep.
The people are at 61.
The people are only at 44.
God damn, bro, that movie sucks.
People don't want to go to
the people enjoyed Walking Tall
more
than they enjoyed this one.
The people don't want to go to Witch Mountain.
No, that looks like it sucks. What is the plot of this movie?
I
Jack Bruno, a Las Vegas taxi driver, must get extraterrestrials Seth and Sarah to their spaceship on Witch Mountain before government agents and an assassin can catch up to them. Ugh.
the aliens are kids. It's a remake of an old Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What about Hank Parsons? If you saw Dwayne the Rock Johnson, would you think that his name is Hank?
No, Hank Parsons. Well, he is a racially androgynous person. If you saw Dwayne the Rock Johnson, you wouldn't know what he is.
Sure.
Then you hear Samoan and go, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
But Hank Parsons is a spaghetti western actor from the 50s.
Yep.
Like, what? Who's he? Hank Parsons in? What's he Hank Parsons?
He's Hank Parsons in Journey to the Mysterious Island, the second Journey to the Center of the Earth movie.
Is he in the first one too?
No, that's Brendan Fraser. They couldn't get the phrase back for the second one.
The phrase man knows when to quit. He knows when to fold them.
Well, does he? Because in 2012, Mysterious Island 2 made $335 million off of an $80 million budget.
Yeah, listen, the phrase man only cares about quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and where do you think the critics are on the Mysterious Island?
37%.
They're going in at 45.
Okay.
Cool,
okay.
45. What about the people? Do you think the people the people want a journey to the Mysterious Island? They don't want to go to Witch Mountain, but they will go to the Mysterious Island. 59%.
I said 58.
That's
very
right.
Close.
You're very, very close. I like this one quite a bit. Mitch Buchanan. The Rock is named Mitch in which film?
The Scorpion King.
No, in the Scorpion King, he's Matthias of Akred. Fuck yeah, dude.
By the way, that movie stinks.
Yeah.
That movie is no good at all.
On one of the first
Everybody, I'm showing the Journey to the Mysterious Island thing on the YouTube. Watch YouTube, huh?
On one of my first dates with my wife, we went to meet some friends of hers to have dinner at a Chinese restaurant that she liked. And while we were having dinner, I was distracted because on a TV that was partially cracked with no sound, the Journey to the Mysterious Island was playing. That's how you see Journey 2.
That's how you know that the Chinese food's good.
Yeah.
They've been playing that VHS since the beginning.
Well, we're having dinner and we're talking and everything, and then I'm like, oh, it's The Rock. And I'm like, I don't know this Rock movie. And then I'm like,
Vanessa Hudgens?
And I was like, that looks like there's a mysterious island.
And they're journeying.
Yeah. How'd they get there? They journeyed, I bet.
There's an interesting cast of characters in this movie, I can tell you that. Dwayne Johnson, Michael Caine, Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah.
What do we know him from?
He's in the Hunger Games. He's PETA.
There it
Hunger
is.
Games. Yeah.
Vanessa Hudgens and Luis Guzman.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I'm so glad Guzman was in that movie. Give him a blank check, dude. He deserves all the money he got for that one. Mitch Buchanan is in 2017's Baywatch.
Oh fuck, that is a Baywatch ass name.
Baywatch costs $69 million to make.
Of course,
hell
it
yeah,
did, bro. They were like, listen, spend $2 more million on marketing. We got to hit that number.
Made 177. I don't know how it did that.
Titties.
Yeah. Well, it does have.
I'll give you two goddamn reasons.
I believe it has Alexandra Daddario in it, which I know you're a fan of. So
she's a very talented lady. Talented lady.
What do you think? What do you think Rotten Tomatoes thinks of Baywatch?
Oh shit! It didn't get an Oscar.
No. Unfortunately, best looking in a swimsuit was not one of the Oscar categories that year.
That's got to be in the 20s, right? 21%.
A scant 17%.
Fuck, dude.
And it's got Hannibal Buress in it, which was I went to the theater to see Baywatch, and
Hannibal?
I was so psyched when I saw Hannibal. But all right, the people.
Okay, hold on. I got to show you something
Sure.
on the Baywatch Wikipedia. This makes absolutely no sense to me. You seeing what I just highlighted?
You're looking at the story by credit. Oh yeah, Thomas Lennon from Reno 911.
Thomas Lennon, Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911, co-wrote the Baywatch movie.
Well, he got a story by credit. The screenplay is 2 other guys.
What's story by?
So
What's the
story is he might have come up with a concept for it that then was written into the movie, but the movie was written by other guys, or he might have taken the first pass at it and maybe it's a different movie the way he wrote it, but they use some of his ideas, so they have to give him story credit.
So like general stories, he's like, so they're running, bro.
Right.
And they're like, all right, unfortunately we have to credit him.
Well, yeah,
the pity balls are bouncing, hitting him in the face.
It's a weird thing where it's like the Writers Guild determines based on like what percentage of your movie of the movie is remains, or you can sue for credit. Like there's a lot of weird.
He's like, you can go ahead and leave me off that.
Yeah. But I'm happy he got paid.
Lennon, very funny, very funny improv actor, very funny comedic actor. Lieutenant Dangle is
New Boot Goofin is one of the best single scenes in anything ever. Where
dude, the scene of fucking Reno 911 where there was a misprint in the lottery and they all thought they won the lottery, and one by one they were coming in and telling everybody to fuck themselves. Oh, it's so good.
That's a great scene. New Boot Goofin. Anything with Nick Swartzen as what was his name on that show?
I can't remember what his name was. I was murdered.
Okay.
What was the so we got a scant, what was it, 17%?
17%, yeah.
So the people, I mean, Daddario.
Yeah.
You got to give it the Daddario factor.
Yeah.
But it still sucks, man. It's like I was just gonna reference a SNL sketch that you probably haven't even seen. It's Eddie Murphy doing Stevie Wonder to Stevie Wonder. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think I have.
Joe Piscopo's in it. Eddie Murphy, basically, Stevie Wonder comes in. He's like, he's supposed to be a Stevie Wonder impressionist, and he does a really bad Stevie Wonder impression. And then Eddie Murphy's like the booker, and Eddie's like, no, you gotta shake your head like somebody's choking you. He's doing this, and he's like, Eddie Murphy did a really good Stevie Wonder. Like he was really good. He could sing like him and everything. He sings My Sherry and More. And then Stevie Wonder, of course, is like, oh, you mean this? And fucking sings it perfectly. Right. And there's like a big applause. And Eddie Murphy times it perfectly. He's like standing there and he takes his glasses off. And as soon as the applause stops, he goes, it still sucks, man. That's the only good line of the whole thing. But I don't even think Daddario can bring this up much. We're talking 27%.
Well, you got the 7 right.
Yeah.
57%. We're talking
Daddario factor, dog.
We're talking a 40-point swing between the critics and the people.
Yeah.
For The Rock. The Rock
that movie's fucking terrible. I guarantee that movie's terrible. And I like Efron.
Yeah. The Rock is in so many goddamn sequels to things. The Mummy Returns, The Scorpion King, Journey to the Mysterious Island, G.I. Joe Retaliation. Is he in the first G.I. Joe? No, he's not. Just in Retaliation. He's in Fast 5, of course. Then he's in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Then he's in the other Jumanji movie. Like, it's crazy. That's like his main, one of his main things is just, hey, I'll be in it. The original guy won't be in it no more. I'll be in it.
Yeah, that's the thing, because if you have a action vehicle and the original guy says no, you know who will say yes. Is Dwayne's gonna say yes?
Well, there's a rough run here. Okay, so Mummy Returns, he's like a bit part in that movie. That movie's not as good as the Mummy, which is a goddamn masterpiece. The original Mummy still holds up. It's great.
Haven't seen it in a long time. My dad will be mad at me for saying this. It gave him nightmares.
Oh, the Sand Monster.
The Sand Monster.
The Sand
fucked him
Monster's
up real
scary,
bad,
dude. Yeah. Okay, but Mummy Returns, you get a pass. He's only in it a little bit. Scorpion King, not good. Whatever, you know.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Then he's in The Rundown, which is pretty good. I still enjoy that movie. But then he's in Walking Tall, which we talked about. Be Cool, which for an odd movie for you to ride so hard for.
I loved it when I was younger. I randomly rented it. I don't know why. And I never even saw Get Shorty, which isn't that the first one?
It's the sequel to Get Shorty.
Yeah, and I never saw that one, and I just loved Be Cool. Like, there's a couple funny lines. Andre 3000 has some funny lines. Rock plays a gay guy. The John Travolta says the F word. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Probably stinks, but I liked it.
Cost $64 million to make it.
It did not do well.
No, it made 95.8. And is also not very well revered. Like, I don't know how good Get Shorty did, but that's a really great movie and people love it. But how do you think the critics fared on Be Cool? I will say on things that I've heard about it, that The Rock got a lot of positive pub for his particular performance in it.
The Rock's character was fun. He played a gay guy, so there's gonna be some awkward moments.
He played a gay guy in 2005, so yeah.
Andre 3000 was really good in it. Cedric the Entertainer was in it. The Travolta just kind of plays Travolta. He kind of plays his character in Pulp Fiction a little bit.
Yeah.
Corny story. So I think the critics probably it's probably either in the 30s or 40s. I'd say 42%. No, I'm saying 37%.
You're looking at 30% from the critics.
At least I got closer. Yeah.
And the people?
I mean, it probably wasn't gangbusters. The people, let's give it a 51%.
Okay. The people are a little kinder, 42%.
God damn it.
And he played Elliot Wilhelma in that movie. I believe is how you will say that.
Wilmer Van Harama.
Yeah. So, but then he makes Doom, the Southland Tales, which is the worst goddamn movie I've ever seen, which is made by the guy who made Donnie Darko. I hate that movie. Have you seen?
Yeah, Donnie Darko stinks. Have you seen Battlefield Earth?
Yes, I have. I would. Southland Tales has the distinction of being terrible and also being 3 hours. It's pointless and it's 3 hours long.
It's also got Sean William Scott.
Yeah, but I don't
to believe this.
I don't hate Donnie Darko. I haven't watched it in a long time. I bet that it's not as cool as I thought it was in my 20s. Whatever, everybody was watching Donnie Darko.
What do you think happened?
Yeah,
man?
I went to
up. Tell us how your movie ended. Tell us how the movie ended.
Well, no, he dies. That's how it ends. The question is, why did it happen this way? What happened? And I believe at one point I had a pretty good theory, but I don't remember it now because it's been a long time since I watched.
Tell us what happened
in your movie.
Tell us. It's very easy. Just tell us what happened in your movie.
You have no idea how many houses I went to for the specific purpose of watching Donnie Darko. Like, hey, does everybody want?
You were a fucking hipster emo scene kid back in the day.
Yeah.
You want to listen to Neutral Milk Hotel and watch Donnie Darko? The same thing we've done every day.
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do.
Sure as shit do, bro.
Yeah. Well,
listen, I'm gonna make fun of it, but it's a life. You know what I mean?
Did you buy both of those? Did you buy those Bright Eyes double album that was released the same day? Yeah, I did. At that Best Buy, did you buy Donnie Darko also? I sure did. You want to do all that together? Sure do.
Do you want to not do drugs?
Yeah.
Sure don't. The
Do you want to drink
Donnie
shitty?
Darko.
Do you want to drink shitty beer and listen to the folk album and then the electronic album and then talk about the juxtaposition of those two arts? I sure do. Let's do it.
Yuck. Donnie, mine was like, do you want to do ecstasy and listen to Blink 182?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I do.
We're both having fun in our own way.
Yeah, we're both having a good time. The Donnie Darko is the Crow for the little brothers of the guys who liked The Crow.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was this movie with Christian Bale called Equilibrium that, like, I don't know if it ever got like a theater release, but that was the other big, like, oh shit, if you think you like movies and you like some fucking like twist, like you want it to get flipped upside down, bro. This is like the cooler Matrix, and I remember watching that movie a fuck ton of people's houses because it had Christian Bale, who had just been in Batman Begins, probably, or maybe The Machinist. Like, and it was like, oh shit, yeah, let's do it. Taye Diggs is in this movie. He gets half his face cut off. Spoiler alert for Equilibrium. Look, if you haven't watched Equilibrium by now, never gonna happen for you. But
if I wanted my life to turn upside down, I would just find out how Will Smith became the prince of a town called Bel Air. You know what I mean?
Well, it's quite a story. If you listen near. So
this cab was rare.
Yeah. So he's kind of floundering. Like, he makes Southland Tales, Gridiron Gang, The Game Plan, where he's a former football player that's now a nanny because everybody has to make that movie. Hulk Hogan made that movie. Vin Diesel made that movie.
Hold on, real quick. The Southland Tales is set in the near future of 2008 and is a portrait of Los Angeles, as well as a satiric commentary on the military-industrial complex and the infotainment industry.
No, it's not. It stinks. His name in Southland,
it's AKA Gay Live.
Yeah.
I can't make that one into a clip, but
Yeah.
I like that one.
His name, Boxer Santros, in that movie / Jericho Kane.
He's got two names
because he was a wrestler. He's got two wrestler names too. He's Jericho Kane. All right, Southland Tales cost $17 million to make. They gave the guy who made Donnie Darko $17 million.
Yeah.
I don't know what the release template was for this movie. I don't know how this is possible. According to Wikipedia, this movie made $374,000.
I just want to be in the room. When they find out.
I don't know if it was supposed to be direct to video and they only released it in a few theaters. I think that's probably what happened.
Fuck.
I had a buddy who messaged me asking me to see this movie because it had a bunch of biblical stuff in it, and he was not raised religious. And he's like, "Can you tell me what all this stuff means so I can try to make sense of this movie?" And I was like, "Okay." And I worked at a video store at the time. I had nothing but time. Sure, I'll watch this movie. I was so mad at my friend when it was over, because this is a thing where just like kind of in Donnie Darko, where he sort of nailed it to be fake deep. This dude just puts a bunch of biblical references in his movie. You know, then they marched around Jericho 7 times and it fell down, and it's supposed to mean something, but it doesn't mean anything. Even if you know the biblical context of some of the verses, they don't mean anything to the plot of this movie. It's just a terrible movie.
This is the worst. This is the worst thing in the world. So they had a big idea for this movie.
Yeah.
This movie was initially planned to be, and Southland Tales was initially planned to be a 9-part quote unquote interactive experience, with the first 6 parts published in 600-page graphic novels.
Boo.
That would be released in a 6-month period up to the film's release. The feature film comprises the final 3 parts of the experience.
Oh, well, that makes sense, because
a website was also developed to intertwine with the graphic novels and the film itself. The idea of 6 graphic novels was later cut down to 3. So then they made those, and then following its May 21st, 2001 premiere at the 2006 Cannes Film Festival, where it was poorly received, the final version of the film premiered at Fantastic Fest on September 22nd, 2007. The film was originally scheduled to be released in the United States on November 9th, 2007, in partnership with Destination Films and Salmon Golden Films, but it eventually opened in limited release in California on November 14th, 2007, and opened in Canada as well as nationwide in the United States in just 63 theaters.
That's why. Yeah, because it stinks. It's really terrible, and it makes sense more now that it's supposed to. So to see this movie, I'm supposed to buy into 6 graphic novels that I have to read to be able to watch this movie. This is the Matrix. This is the Matrix fault. Because, like, they make the first Matrix, and then they're like, oh man, there's all this lore. Then they make the anime movie. Then they make a video game. Then they make the 2 other movies. Then there's like a comic book that ties all the shit together. But the only reason that works is because the first Matrix movie is fucking dope. And it's dope even if you don't care about what it's about. It's cool like on its own. It doesn't need, if you want the lore, all the stuff is there. But you don't need it because it's Keanu fucking learning kung fu and shooting a bunch of guns and being in a bunch of fight scenes and all the other shit, all the Buddha shit, all the sort of body swapping and like being alien in your own body. All of that shit is in there if you want it, but none of that shit matters if you don't want it. The movie's just good anyway.
Yeah, I've never really seen The Matrix. I saw it a little bit as a kid.
Right.
Roger Ebert described the Cannes screening as the most disastrous since, yes, The Brown Bunny.
Oh, are you familiar with The Brown Bunny?
Yeah.
For the particular thing that it's famous for?
I know the thing that it's famous for. I stood next to Vincent Gallo at a thing one time, and I was like,
oh, what a creep. That guy sucks. Surprisingly, Southland Tales is the only movie on this list that people are equally indifferent about. 41% critic score, 41% audience score.
It's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I can't imagine why it got a 41%. But
yeah.
Anyway, so do you want to guess the average score from the critics for the Rock's movies?
We've talked about a lot of stinkers.
Yeah. There are hits in here. There are good ones.
Can you tell me his highest rated?
Yes, in fact I can. His highest rated film.
Critic score.
Critic score is going to be Moana at 95%.
Oh,
which it's not really him. He's in it.
Yeah.
He gets credit, but you know.
Yeah. What's a live action one? What's his highest rated live action one?
Highest rated live action, I just passed just to make sure. Furious 7, 81%.
Okay. God damn. He does not have.
No.
Average 96 is pulling that average up. 81's pulling that average up a little bit. I'm gonna go. I think it's in the 50s or 60s. I'm gonna go 59%.
It's a smooth 51. Half great, half stinkers. Like he's perfectly okay, and that is also, as we've talked about, that's The Rock's entire personality. Hey, it's me, The Rock. You don't feel great about The Rock. You don't feel bad about The Rock. You just know, hey, that's The Rock.
That's how we feel. If you look, like, he's one of he might still be. He was for a little bit the most followed person on TikTok, I believe.
Well, I have the average for the audience score also. So
he has 396 million Instagram followers.
Well, he's insanely famous. But you know, it's
let's see what Taylor Swift has. He has more than 100 million followers more than Taylor Swift. That's crazy.
The highest critics or the highest user score for The Rock is 92%, and there are 2 films that are at 92%, and one of them is not Moana. Moana only has 89% from the people. Hi,
damn.
fuck you, Moana.
Are they both fucking Fast and Furious movies?
No, they're bad. They're both bad movies.
So neither of them are Fast and Furious movies?
No,
What are they?
there's
Scorpion King?
Jungle Cruise.
Oh, fucking
92% for Jungle Cruise. And also 92% for his Netflix movie called Red Notice, that has actually the biggest disparity from critics to audience score. 55-point difference. The critics gave Red Notice a 39%. Or no, 37%. And the people gave it 92.
Well, the funny thing is, Jungle Cruise has 92% people, but it did not do well. It is $200 million budget, $220 million box office.
This is pandemic money though. So it probably made a bunch on Disney Plus because you could just buy it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And that might be factored into the gross, but like it didn't make a ton of money, but it's also limited theater run, I think. So the lowest score for The Rock in the people is 34%. And that is for Southland Tales. Or no, I'm sorry. 34% is for Doom.
Yeah, but the people hated Doom.
People aren't
They
into
hated
Doom now.
Quite a bit.
So where do you think the people are on his on The Rock? The critics are at 51.
People are going to be higher.
Yeah.
76.
65.
Fuck.
Because there's a lot of like middling ones where it's like
Yeah.
50%, 44%, 60%, they're getting higher than the critic score because 30 of his movies have a higher, out of 37, 30 of his movies have a higher critic or have a higher audience score than critic score, which I assume is not not crazy. That's 86% of his movies have a higher audience score than critic score.
I bet that's pretty close to the amount of overall movies that have a higher audience score than critic score. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in action
movies. Right. Only 5 of his movies have a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. For a scant 13.5%.
Just so you guys remember, he's made 37
movies.
But he sucked 37.
But the reason
Clerks reference, if you guys
the reason The Rock makes his money, his movies have grossed about $12.5 billion worldwide.
Did you put the budgets on there?
Yeah, the budget's about $3.5 billion.
God damn! So
yeah.
He's
one of the biggest movie stars in the world, in spite of the fact that his movies, at least critically, and also by a lot of fans, are sort of middling. Like the DC League of Super Pets, where he just did a voice. He is Superman's dog. Do you know the name of Superman's dog?
Dog.
No, think about the possibilities. Superman. What's Superman's alter ego?
Bark Kent. Is it Bark Kent?
It is Bark Kent.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
I imagine that Batman's dog's name is Bark Wayne, but I haven't checked.
No, Batman has a cat.
I don't know. I have to check back with the DC League of Super Pets. But that movie has an 88% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a bad movie. I guarantee you that movie's bad.
What's it called?
The DC League of Super Pets.
Oh my god. That is... What are we just giving? We're just giving people our money. This is another Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Kate McKinnon, John Krasinski. Oh, it's an ensemble.
Yeah.
Shut up. Cost 90 million, made 207. So Ace is Batman's dog, Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's lazy. It's got to be Bark Wayne. I mean, maybe they came up with Bark Kent, and they were like, "Well, we can't do it twice."
Well, it's not a pun. You're just putting Bark in there. You might as well call him Clark Bark. Clark Bark might be better.
Yeah, Clark.
Bruce Bark.
Bruce
Just call him
Bark.
Bruce Bark.
Yeah, that's I I am so Red Notice has the biggest swing from critics to audience of 55%. The other guys, where he's not really in it, but he's in the beginning, has the biggest difference between the audience and the critics at -19. The critics liked the other guys 19 points higher than the audience did.
That's weird. I thought people liked the other guys. I didn't watch that movie.
I believe the other guys is at 60%. 60, and then the critics gave it a 79. So ironically, it's one of his fresh movies, even though he's not really in it at all.
Steve Coogan's in it. Hell yeah.
Yep. Little Stevie Coogan.
Him and Samuel L. Jackson's death is funny. I saw that on like Instagram the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's essentially all he's in, is in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he dies. But he gets to take credit for that fresh rating. Fast X, not on the list for anybody who's trying to be a stickler, because he's only in the post-credit scene of that movie. So he gets no credit for the success of Fast X. So that was interesting. You know, just The Rock's an interesting guy, because it's like he's got the Arnold Schwarzenegger problem, where it's like nobody looks like The Rock, no one behaves like The Rock, but The Rock, they want to cast him in these everyman movies. So it's like, well, I'm a guy who builds a skyscraper, but I also was special forces, and I have a dark secret about my special forces thing. So I'm the most jacked architect you've ever seen in your life. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's just the most jacked Scorpion King. Like he's the most jacked anything you've ever seen in your life.
Right.
Anybody more jacked than him can't move.
Right. Well, and it makes sense when he's playing those dudes, like he's in G.I. Joe or he's in whatever, but like whatever, he's just supposed to try to be a regular, like in San Andreas, he's supposed to be a helicopter pilot. Yeah. Why? He's gigantic. He's the one who causes the earthquake in San Andreas.
Listen, dog, there's big fuckers everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you have to admit, there are big fuckers, and then there's The Rock as a big fucker.
Yeah,
like,
and nobody's a big fucker like that when they're 50. You know, there's this cop that used to be on Live PD that's one of the biggest fucking guys I've ever seen in my life. He might be bigger than The Rock. Live PD buff cop. I'll show you what this guy looks like, and then we'll do. Did you do the trivia today?
I did the daily.
God damn it, we both did it.
Yeah, I forgot. So
yeah, let me find a good picture of this fucking animal. This guy's a monster. Look at him in this picture. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking guy. What?
Oh, Jesus.
That's a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
Imagine being chased down by that guy.
Yeah, I think I can fly. Definitely, yeah.
Look at his arms.
Wow.
His name is Garrow Brown.
Well, have you seen the thing online where it's the guy who used to be the bailiff for like one of those court shows, and the guy is one of the defendants is sort of razzing him about like being married and how hard it is or whatever, and he's like, man, look at this guy, he's not a smiling, he knows being married sucks. And then it smash cuts to this guy killed his wife. The giant
I saw that. Yeah.
The giant the big fucking bailiff guy killed his wife.
I don't trust big guys. It's the problem.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's well, I wonder how whatever police department he works in feels about TRT, because that guy's definitely doing something.
Oh yeah, he's roided to the tits, as they say.
So the Rock has to be taking everything they've got, right? Like horse shit, and
he's he's doing fucking ivermectin for no reason. He's on steroids for sure. He's got crazy money. So he's on the best steroids, and
Right.
he's got doctors for sure, like monitoring him. I think maybe not to the Rock's level, but like just a moderate amount of steroid use can be okay and actually sometimes good for you as you age.
Yeah.
Especially like HGH. Like Larry King took HGH until he died, and he was like, I don't know why everybody's not on it.
Yeah.
My dick works now. Like it's crazy. So like
Yeah.
moderate, like monitored by a doctor, use of like testosterone and stuff can be good for you as you age. It could be anti-aging. But when you look like The Rock, I mean, I don't know. He's got crazy doctors, so he might be able to keep it healthy or whatever. But like, I'm just afraid his heart's gonna explode.
Well, and he has like he obviously has really great genetics to start with, because like he's always been in really great shape. But it's like
He's always been a big boy, yeah.
And you could tell when he wrestled like regularly, you're like, oh yeah, that's a really in shape person.
Yeah, he's an athlete, a really good athlete too.
But you can tell, like, okay, that I'm not amazed at how this guy looks, because he looks like other really in shape people, right?
Yeah.
But then you see him in Fast 7 whenever he flexes that cast to break it off of him, and you're like, oh, he doesn't look like a regular person anymore. Like even the most athletic people don't look like this. This is a dude that just works out and takes steroids. Like, and I guess if that's what he wants to do, and he's not hurting anybody, more power to him. He's not trying to, you know.
Yeah, I don't think they should be outlawed unless you're like in sports, or you're buying them from Mexico. You know, don't buy them from the guy at your gym. If they're administered by a doctor and stuff, there's not really a problem as long as you are being administered by a responsible doctor. But anyway, next week there was 2 things I wanted to talk about, but I only remember one of them. Shit. Oh yeah. I'm writing it down. I'll just tell you one of them though. Just a teaser for next week.
Ooh.
It happened, Dusty. A lot of people's worst nightmare, something that I'm sure you've worried about before, something that I think everybody worries about, but maybe men more than other people. But a man in Thailand got his nuts bitten by a python that was in his toilet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I got to think about that for a whole week.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not stoked about that.
Yeah.
So I was listening to a podcast the other day. I listened to this fantasy football podcast, and they talk sometimes about the storylines for the season, but they pick a movie to use the lines from that movie to sort of to make their point. And I think it's really funny. They always do like a comedy or something, but they did This Is the End. And they just used like, they didn't use all the stuff that I thought was the funniest stuff in that movie. Cause like now what just popped in my head is, well, something not that chill happened, which is you telling me about this snake that I have to think about for a week. So
that's a great line. That is the best line in that movie. That's the hardest I laughed at that movie. The movie was slightly disappointing. It's good, but it's slightly disappointing. When Danny McBride is like talking about like, I'll jerk off all over this house. That part's really funny too.
Yeah. Weed is tight when Jonah Hill's like trying to be in the conversation.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, so cool, so tight. Yeah. So anyway, well, I can't say I'm looking forward to that situation.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard most of it. Guy got his nuts bit by a python.
You want to do the movie to movie since we did the daily, and we'll get out of here on that.
So movie to movie is like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You start with one movie, you try to get to another movie by people who were in similar. I mean, in movies, you'll get it. I think. Predestination to Aaron Brockovich. Have you seen Predestination? That looks like what is that fucking guy's name?
Is that Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke. That is who that is.
Okay. I've not seen Predestination.
Okay, so Ethan Hawke, Sarah Snook, Noah Taylor, Christopher Kirby, Madeline West, Jim Noblock, Freya Stafford, Elise Jansen. I'm not recognizing any of these people.
No,
Kuni
I think
Hashimoto. Oh, Kuni Hashimoto. Is that the guy from or am I racist? Is he from the Samurai show?
that I don't know. I haven't watched all of Shogun yet, so
Oh man, how far did you get?
about halfway through one episode.
Oh,
I was trying to multitask. I realized this. I got to sit down and watch this thing because I'm into it, but I was trying to do other stuff.
Yeah, pay attention. We got Aaron Eckhart.
Okay.
We got. I don't even know what Ethan Hawke is in. Training Day.
He is with. Oh, that's how we'll do it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Denzel. So we're getting to Denzel.
Yeah, I think we're going Ethan.
Ethan Hawke. Training Day.
Unless it's a movie. Unless he's not in the movie I'm thinking he's in, but I hope he is.
Denzel Washington.
Is he in the Pelican Brief?
He is.
Ooh,
with Julia Roberts.
There it is.
Who is in Aaron Brockovich. Look at us. Three's pretty good.
What is that?
Dude.
3. That's only it's only one worse than the best version of the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How'd you get 2?
Ethan Hawke was in Predestination, and he was also in Before the Devil Knows You're Dead with Albert Finney, who was in Aaron Brockovich. Who cares?
But Before the Devil Knows You're Dead is a pretty great movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman that I really like, and as Marissa
God,
Tomei.
I miss him.
Yeah,
I miss Kevin Spacey too, man. It sucks. Like I'm not saying we should bring him back. I'm saying he was a phenomenal actor that I miss. He's as dead as Philip Seymour Hoffman is to me, and those were like my 2 favorite actors.
I was thinking of something that I thought Philip Seymour Hoffman would have been really good in recently, and I can't remember what it was now. So it's a great story for the podcast. But I was just like, oh man, Hoffman would have killed it in this thing. That would have been great. Oh, it was. I was listening to a different podcast. There's one other podcast that I listened to, and they were just like, could you imagine? You'll hate this, but like all the money that Philip Seymour Hoffman would have been raking up it being in one of these Marvel movies as one of the fucking background dude, like just a dude that's in it, and he's in like 4 or 5 of them because he plays like Stellan Skarsgård. Let him get his money, and he would. Because he was in the Hunger Games. That's not necessarily better.
He's dead, so you can't prove me wrong. He would have said no.
But he was in the Hunger Games. So
different.
All right.
The Hunger Games didn't ruin cinema.
That's it's true, and he did love cinema. So
you son of a bitch.
How dare you besmirch Philip Seymour Hoffman's name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go watch The Big Lebowski. Just watch the scenes with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Incredible. Watch Along Came Polly, where he's genuinely so funny in that movie.
Watch Twister.
Watch Twister. Watch Mission Impossible 3, where he plays an awesome villain. A villain so heinous that in the theater I applauded when he was murdered. I was like, I hated his character so much that I was like, fuck yeah, that guy's dead. You know.
We should do one of these on Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Ooh, yeah. He's in a lot of stuff that like didn't that wasn't on the main, but I'll start. Look, I've got Excel for a month. So I'm all into making spreadsheets. I had so much fun making my spreadsheet. I was like looking up formulas and shit to tabulate stuff because I'm a giant dork. So
just whistling.
Yeah, I could have watched Donnie Darko.
Weird indie shit.
I was listening to Modest Mouse while I was making my spreadsheet.
The good Donnie Darko written on your hand because it's your favorite movie.
The good news for people who love bad news is that I have Excel, so there can be a lot more of these type of deep cuts.